Hey, Minorcan Navy, Captain Andy coming to you from the Minorcan Mullet. Didn't really make a trip out today, but we're down on the boat and we thought we'd just have a little chat and talk about a couple things. One thing we did see today, and we got a picture here of it, we can see one of the dry docks is being departed. It's on its way out. When you see the Caitlin is off the bow of the dry dock on the bridle, and the big thing I'm taking from this picture right here is they've actually hooked the chain bridle up. When we've seen them move pieces around, just the dry dock back and forth, if they're going somewhere with it, just moving it around, they'll usually have a rope or something like that on it. This time they've got the chain on it. They've got the chain bridle out, which means they're in for the long haul. We checked our tracker and it looks like the Caitlin has the tow and is departing with the dry dock, and we're assuming heading around to the Gulf of Mexico with it. So it looks like we're saying goodbye to at least one section of the dry dock and possibly the Caitlin. We may have seen the Caitlin's time here with the project come to a completion, and it may be heading back over to the Gulf of Mexico to home port and get ready for another assignment. Now, yesterday we asked you guys about your thoughts on Section 4. What can we expect? And pretty much everybody that is queued up on the comments has kind of hit around that they expect that section to be in kind of rough shape. We do as well. I think it's going to be another section that's got some damage on it. I think that there's damage on it that has not yet been assessed, because it can't be. It can't. As much as the ship has probably rolled over onto that side and settled into the sand and the silt, I would expect that the part that you really want to look at is buried underneath a lot of material, and it's probably going to be very difficult to get an accurate assessment on it until they get it lifted up. The lifting process is probably going to be tricky, especially if that side seam anywhere along that side, which is now the bottom of the ship because of the way she rolled over, if there's a fracture in that, or it's creased it or something like that, you put on the additional weight, and you could be looking at some problems and getting that thing up and more separation from the actual structure of the ship. Keep in mind that side, the top part of the ship, the top part of those roll-on, roll-off ships, those car carriers, they're not very thick. They're not made out of heavy material. It's light material, and it's built like that for a purpose, because you don't want the ship to be top heavy. What you want is to have enough material up there to safely cover those vehicles while they're being transported from the salt spray and the rain, the conditions that the ship might go through. And that's pretty much it. You just want to kind of protect your cargo. The thicker part of the ship would have been down, coming back towards the bottom and down around the keel in that area. The part that really stays in the water might be a bit thicker, maybe an inch and a half, maybe. But the sides of it are going to be surprisingly thin. That said, thin material has its limitations on how it can be adhered to the structure of the ship. Those, if you want to call them ribs, yeah, I guess you can. The side structure of the ship. There's going to be the possibility that stuff could turn loose, and she could come loose quickly, and we could see a pretty good separation there. We know that there are still vehicles on that end that was freshly cut, the cut that was between 4 and 5, the last cut made, and they haven't yet taken those vehicles off. So we'll expect that activity to take place, that we're going to see them back out, probably with that blue grapple machine in there, and trying to get out what they can, get as much weight off of it. But there's still going to be a tremendous amount of weight on that section. It's going to be a wait and see kind of operation to see how it comes up, how much of it stays together. Maybe they get it up without a hitch. I expect that they're going to have problems with it. Just in looking at Section 5 and how it came up, I expect to see some more issues with Section 4. It's been in there a long time and has really collected a lot of material. Now, someone in here mentioned about some cost. I have no idea. You know, the only people who have a true assessment of what this operation has cost is going to be the insurance company, and I doubt you're going to get that information from them. I don't think they would want that make that public. You know, I'm just thinking back in recent memory. I can't think of too many insurance companies that have actually lost money. Usually, when they incur losses, whether it be through storm damage on homeowners policies or flooding on vehicles, what happens is they kind of have to increase their rates a little bit to cover the losses. Expect to see that same thing happen. You know, we're having a big issue with shipping, delays in shipping and getting container space. If you haven't noticed that yet, there's some pretty good YouTube channels out there. You might want to look up a couple of them. What's going on with shipping is one of the best, and he saw this coming 2 or 3 months ago. This problem that we're having, maybe even longer than that. But shipping's going to continue, and expect to see the cost of insuring vessels go up as a direct result of this. And ultimately, who's going to pay for that? Well, the people on the back end of the consumption, the consumers that are buying those products. Those fees are eventually going to be absorbed by the paying public that they're purchasing whatever product is being shipped. So, kind of, who's going to pay for it? Well, I guess we are. If you want to get right down to it, we might not think we are, but eventually it comes around. We're going to get some of the golden ray, for sure. Just looking at a few other comments. I love you guys have a great sense of humor. You know, I haven't received the $2 million grant from the National Geographic. I just saw that the Pulitzer Prize was awarded. I didn't get notification or an email or a postcard or anything that we were in the contention for any sort of prize money. So, you know, I guess we'll just continue on. Don't go anywhere, Minorcan Navy. Stay with me. You're all I got right now. I really appreciate you guys. The amount of interest that has been shown in this is just very humbling, and certainly appreciate the time that you guys spend with us on usually a daily basis. It's pretty awesome. Again, yeah, people looking at this going, wow, is it probably going to be a mess? It probably is. Most everyone that we've commented has said, you know, this really looks like it's going to be a problem. Well, we will watch and see. We're going to be out there hoping to see this, hoping for the best. You know, we don't want to see any more. The less debris we can have loose in the water, the better off we are here locally. The environment will certainly rebound faster if we can get the contaminants that are in the water in those vehicles out. That's obvious. So, yeah, we're hoping for the best, but expecting sure there's going to be a problem. And another thing that we've been thinking about is the crews that have been working on the VB, working on the ship. You know, they've been in a COVID bubble since they got started on this project, where it's just been them. You know, they've got the Methodist resort here on St.simons kind of rented out, and they've been housing and feeding all those guys there, all the crew guys that are working on the project. They're there. They've been inside the COVID bubble. Well, when this thing comes to an end, you know, they're sprung, and you got to think, is it not a little bit like prison? Think about it. You know, they get up in the morning or whenever their shift is. They may be working at night, maybe sleeping during the day, because we know operations, we're pretty much around the clock out there. And then they go out, they catch the crew boat out to the site. They catch the crew after the shift is over. They catch the crew ride back, and then that's where they stay. They haven't been anywhere else. It's kind of like prison when you think about how those guys have been just kind of held in there. They haven't really been able to have the freedom to get out, just want to go out and take a walk or go over to a retail store and look around. It just hasn't been an option. And as these guys come out of here, we're hoping everybody comes out well, but you can certainly understand they're going home. It may have been a while since they've been home, and we're thinking about them. We're hoping the best. We know that sometimes that in itself, that process of coming back after an extended period away and not having interaction with other people in your life that you did before could be a problem. We hope it's not a problem, but we're certainly thinking about those guys. Well, hey, that's going to do it for the report today. A little different, but we hope you enjoyed it. We're going to ask if you haven't done it yet, click on that subscribe button. Give us some thumbs up. Hey, keep comments coming. That's about all we've got right now while we're anticipating the lift of Section 4. So stay with us. Hey, most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.